everyone and welcome to another episode of Rift News, the show we used to do quite regularly, but then Riot decided to release a lot of lore, follow it up with an entire lore event, and then top it off with some more lore in their other game. So after we checked most of it off of our list, we can finally get back to covering the news. And because Riot just revealed quite a massive PvE patch coming, today we will spend most of our time on PvE. So without further ado, let's have a look at it. Because we are going to spend a lot of time looking at the data on PvE, of course full credit goes to Surrender20 for all the data mining. Perhaps the biggest new thing regarding League there is right now is the new skin line called Psyops. Riot already released a trailer for it, and they even released the music in a separate video. Honestly, this trailer is really high quality, almost as if Riot was planning to release another Spirit Blossom-like event. In this trailer, we can see a bunch of Psyops agents infiltrating a base and trying to rescue Sona. And seeing how insanely powerful Sona is in this cinematic, there is no doubt this skin was inspired by that one well-known brutal anime, which I am not going to mention. Interestingly, some people pointed out to me that you can see Bulldog in some of the shots. Of course, Bulldog is a gun from Valorant, but to be honest, this gun looks quite generic. So I am not sold on the idea that the Psyops universe is linked to Valorant. On the other hand, I found a different cool Easter egg. I find it hilarious how every single agent has a threat level of 10. Apart from Ezreal, he's only 9. Anyway, let's have a look at the skins. Starting with the less dangerous agent, at first glance, Ezreal doesn't look so special. He just looks like a character from Final Fantasy, which is certainly targeting a specific audience. However, his spell effects have a nice little twist, because as it will be with all the other Psyop skins, the spell effects have subtle rainbowy colors, with his E giving him a nice desynchronization effect. Also, his Q actually shoots bullets. But, you know, not just the tip as it's supposed to be. He's shooting actual full bullets with their casings. Maybe that's why his threat level is only 9. However, his incompetence doesn't matter, because he's the one who is getting a prestige skin. Here, the rainbowy effects are still there, including the bullets, but there is a nice golden overlay. Also, his gauntlet is permanently on fire here. So, overall, it's your typical prestige skin. Then there are the other Psyop skins. Despite the fact that Master Yi already has quite a few cool skins, they still managed to make this one unique. They gave his code these ghastly lines that move around, and they really help with selling how fluid Master Yi's moves are. It is a stupid detail, but it does a lot for the skin. I also like how Riot avoided turning this one into another cybernetic or futuristic Yi. They made sure to keep his coat open, and they took off his sleeves to expose his skin and to show everyone that he's still a human. Which is something you may especially notice during his recall, where he straight up looks like a character from Metal Gear Solid. And as I mentioned before, all the spell effects are slightly rainbowy, but with his E active, they get a lot more vibrant. Still, the coolest part of this skin are the sounds. They gave his blade some white noise, and it sounds really great when he swings it around. Next up there is Psyops Shen, who has a really nice unique touch to his spirit blade. You see, this skin turns Shen into a semi-futuristic commando unit, with some rainbowy spells for added value. However, the cool thing about him is that his blade seems to hold the imprisoned mind of a girl. Either it's that, or the girl is just in their headquarters, and she's communicating with Shen through the blade. But that's the less cool variant. I assume Shen's mind is linked to the girl, because why else would he be called Psyops? Either way, originally, according to the concepts, Shen wasn't supposed to have a blade at all. It was just supposed to be a ghastly girl floating next to him. But for the sake of clarity, Riot turned her into a blade, but they still made her pop up when the shield goes active, which is a really cool twist that his other skins don't have. Next up there is Vi, who has a really cool recall animation. There she fights what seems to be some black ghosts. And I assume that these are just in her head, because the point of the Psyop skins, which stands for Psychic Operations, is that they all have their minds twisted a little bit. And now they use their minds to enhance their weapons. Which explains why Vi's punches have a massive psychic wave behind them. Partially it's because she has bullets on her gauntlets which explode. But the rainbow still comes from her mind. But speaking of mind weapons, lastly there is Psyops Sona. who's a legendary skin for 1820 RP. In her normal form, she's a bound prisoner, just like what was shown in the trailer. But once you put only a single point in her ultimate, she breaks from the shackles and she becomes free, just like what was shown at the end of the trailer. Whenever Sona uses an ability, you can see the computer behind her react to it. And what's cool is that while she is imprisoned, she doesn't have arms, and so she shoots the spells with her mind. But in her free form, she's actually using her arms. Where this skin really shines though, is in all the non-combat animations. For example, her dance is awesome. And when she dies, little drones fly down and pick up her body. These animations really make the legendary price worth it. Now, although that is it for all the working Psyop skins that are on PBE, besides these, Riot is also testing the next Hextech skin, which is Hextech Ziggs. Here, I have to say, I am quite biased towards this one, because his top hat is magnificent, and he summons Stalker during his recall. Besides this, he keeps the same Hextech visuals like the other skins, and fortunately that color scheme always looks great. As a nice detail on top of that, his Qs and his ultimates make a nice crater effect on the ground. And as always, since it is a Hextech skin, it's going to cost you 10 gemstones. Now, besides these skins, ignoring the fact that every single one of them will also get 8 chromas, we will also get some icons from the Psyops event pass, special icons for each of the skins, new emotes that are likely going to come from the pass, and even a nice ward. Besides this, a ward for Tellstones also appeared in the files, and this one is going to celebrate the release of Tellstones, but more on that later. Now, normally, that would be it for the PBE patch. However, as Riot tried to patch in more new things, they accidentally also gave us things we weren't supposed to see yet. For example, among the things they added to the files were the borders for the skins, and the special prestige chromas, which this time around are going to be blue and grey. But on top of that, we also got the files for 7 more skins, and Samira on top of that, which means that Samira got leaked before Riot released her trailer. So now, let's have a look at these other skins. For some reason, the models of these skins are not properly scripted. This means that as people tried to preview them, they kept breaking the model viewer. This could be because these skins might be the teased quest skins. If you don't know, Riot teased that they will test out a new kind of skins on PBE. These skins will have certain parts unlocked as you complete specific quests with them, which to me sounds like Fortnite's evolving skins. Which I have nothing against, as long as the price stays reasonable. However, this could be why these new skins seem half broken. It could be because they were scripted differently from all the other skins. But the other option is that these skins were simply incomplete, because we weren't supposed to see them yet. Anyway, let's have a look at them. Hang on a second. Hey, it's me from the future. Yesterday Riot gave us a full reveal of these other broken skins. Which means that unfortunately these are not going to be the quest skins. The cool thing is that since they also gave us an official reveal of Samira, they also revealed her lore. And as a nice bonus, they also gave new lore to Sona. I just wanted to mention this, so even though I talked about how broken these skins were in the files, they are fine now. But what I said about them still holds true. So let's have a look at them. Let's first start with Samira, who popped up out of nowhere. Riot already released her trailer showcasing her abilities, so we know what she does too. As was teased in the last roadmap, Samira is all about executing flawless combos with her abilities. And based on how well you do, you get style points, which can go from an F all the way up to an S rank. And the better you are doing, the more movement speed you get. Don't forget that Samira is an AD carry, and so she can fire from range, although she gains bonus damage if she attacks from melee range. Passively, she also has the ability to prolong the CC on someone who is already CC'd by half a second. Just like how Swain's E behaves, Samira can just right-click on someone to knock them up. But that's not it for her passive abilities. She also has one hidden ability. Her taunt makes her pull out a coin and throw it in front of her. However, the amazing part is that this coin is actually a skill shot. It costs 1 gold to cast the spell, and if you hit an enemy with it, it deals 1 damage to them. So this is perhaps the best taunt to ever exist in League. Her Q is a skill shot fired from her pistols. However, if you cast this ability at a champion who is in melee range, she will slash her blade for more damage instead. Both of these abilities can crit for increased damage. Her W slashes her blade around, but more importantly, it also destroys all projectiles in the air, just like Yasuo's Wind Wall. Her E is a dash that slashes enemies and gives her attack speed, but you can also Q during this dash to strike everyone for even more damage. As a bonus, this ability gets reset every time you get a kill. And finally, her ultimate makes her spin around and shoot everyone for quite a lot of damage. Exactly like Katarina, only Samira can move during her ultimate. The catch is that it probably won't be that easy to pull her ultimate off. You need to reach S rank in style in order to activate it. So if you suck at landing skill shots, this will be harder to pull off than Yasuo's ultimate without Malphite. But only time will tell how difficult Samira will be to play. She is not playable on PBE yet, so we still have to wait. But of course, since Samira is already in the files, her release skin appeared too. This one is Psyop Samira, and that's pretty much all we know about that skin. Hey, it's me from the future again, and these are lies. Her spells are purple here, that's all the skin has. Now let's continue. Next up in the files we got Psyopscale, who looks pretty decent, especially in her ascended form, but the wings look incomplete. It feels like it's missing particles, even though everything else works. Then there is Psyop Spike, who looks pretty awesome. It's a shame that he already has very similar legendary skin, but still I really love the ghost-like hood, the blue glow on his cloak, and the fact that whenever you execute someone with your ultimate, it plays a part of the Psyops theme. Then there is Psyops Victor, who somehow looks the least impressive, but that's only because he is very close to his classic skin. Thankfully the abilities make up for it, well, most of them. I still feel like his Q is very tiny and easy to overlook, but everything else has a nice black outline with the rainbowy colors. This is especially noticeable on his E, where the beam is completely black with rainbow outlines. Unfortunately, this skin has one big disadvantage. During his ultimate, if you watch the pulses on the ground, you may notice that they indicate when the ultimate will deal damage. So for the enemy, it will be easier for them to tell when they will take damage. I'm not sure if it is as clear in the other skins, but for this one it is especially hard to miss. Next there is Psyops Zed. It's a real shame that Zed already has many other amazing skins, because this one is really cool, but for me it is not as good as the others. I really like his model, and I like the green prismatic colors, but there is nothing that would really set him apart. So it's good, but perhaps the spell effects could be flashier. Then, besides the Psyop skins, we also got Prestige True Damage Yasuo in the files. And the reason why we probably got this one is that if you scroll down in the description of the new KDA music video, you can see that the song was produced by Riot Games in cooperation with Yasuo, who is the music producer in their universe. Also, Riot just announced that they will be collaborating with Ape, which I believe is a music producing company, and you can see their logo in Yasuo's W. As it is with all the music skins, and especially with their prestige versions, they are all about the sound effects, and this time around they are especially loud and in your face. With that said, they sound really good. It's just all about how annoying can they get over time. Just listen to this.
I'll give you the easy one.
And lastly, there is also Championship Leblanc. Now, even though the model of the skin isn't anything super special, the spell effects are really cool. Her Q applies the world's logo on her target, her W leaves behind her own projection, and her E marks her target with an X. In fact, there are X's everywhere, including underneath her recall. I'm not exactly sure why. It could be because this year it would be the 10th Worlds, but I thought those happened last year together with the 10th anniversary. Maybe I'm wrong though. Either way, we also got the Championship Ward, which also stands on the same X pedestal. My guess is that we will see this X on the actual stage during Worlds 2. That is, if the Worlds even happen in an arena with the virus still going on. Now, although that is it for all the skins in the files, we got more stuff on PBE to talk about, because now we are getting into TFT. In their post, Riot revealed that the next set of TFT will be called Fates. And on the Chinese YouTube channel, they even released a trailer for it. And it's going to be focused on fantasy. Unfortunately, TFT is the only game that didn't really celebrate Spirit Blossom. We did get some little legends, but now we are getting more stuff with that theme. Surrendered 20 already datamined 3 new emotes that will be likely tied to the first TFT Fates pass. And in the same pass we will also get 3 new arenas. There is this one that is overlooking a cliff, which is a really cool effect. The second one is in a mountain pass, with a nice campfire on the side. And the last one is on a green mountain cliff. Besides these 3, there will also be 3 paid arenas. And not only are these themed around Spirit Blossom, but they also react to how your games are going. If you win fights or if you are on a streak, little Spirit Blossom meeps will spawn around the map to cheer you up. And after a victory, the gatekeeper rushes out from the gate on the side too. I really like this idea of the boards reacting to your games, and I hope Riot will do more with it. But now, let's get into the little legends. First of all, for buying the Fates pass, you get Jade Emperor Sprite. But for actually playing with the pass, you get the option to unlock Lucky Fuva, which is her golden version. And then we are getting into the paid little legends. And here I quickly want to mention that Riot is implementing a new system into TFT, where all you need to do is to get a level 1 little legend from an egg. And if you want to get it to level 3, you can do that by playing games and getting currencies. So now you only really want to buy eggs if you want broader selection of little legends. Once you get a level 1 version for that one you want, you can stop buying eggs, and you can start leveling up the one you want. Anyway, here are the new little legends. The first one is Ao Shin, which is a surprise, because since Riot tried to turn the last little legends canon, with their own descriptions explaining what they do on Runeterra, I am curious to see whether this means that Ao Shin will become canon too. Either way, besides the classic Ao Shin Dragon, which is inspired by the original Udyr comic, you can also get a Void version, an Elder Dragon version, or just Aurelian Soul. Then there is Chonk, whom we can call Chungus. Honestly, I didn't really like this guy at first, but then I saw his animations on Twitter and that changed my mind. Chonk is a big fluffy dragon with some earth and infernal variations, but you can also turn him into a bee or panda. And lastly there is Umbra, your very stereotypical dragon. This one also has a Blood Moon version, a version with the classic Dragon Slayer colors, or my favorite, pure black and gold. What's amazing is that all 3 of these little legends have a special dance that synergizes with the others. Here is what it looks like. Finally, there are also new booms which you will get from the pass. These include a Blood Moon Splash, a Voidy Ink Splash, a Lunar Hit, and a Bloody Demonic Massacre. The last thing we could mention here is that Riot also revealed the ranked emote from the last season. But that is it for the skins and the stuff we are going to get in TFT. So now, to finish the video off, let's quickly mention the new core mechanics coming to TFT Fates. When it comes to new origins, a lot of them are coming back from the previous sets, like Mystics, Vanguards or even Ninjas from set 1. But there are still some cool new additions. For example, now we can get Cultists. If you get 3, 6 or 9 Cultists, you will summon a giant demonic Galio, which goes really well with the Blood Moon thematics. Although, I have to say, in the Blood Moon universe, Aatrox is the ultimate primal demon. There, the moon itself is a demonic egg, and when it turns red, it allows Aatrox to hatch. So it's a shame they used Galio here instead of Aatrox. Then we are also getting Warlords, who use wearing kingdom skins. When Warlords win a fight, they get increased health and spell power, which stacks up to 5 times. So you probably want to commit to Warlords early. Then there is Moonlight. Moonlight only has 4 units, with all of them being either 1 or 2 cost. That's because at the beginning of the round, the lowest star Moonlight unit will star up for the remainder of the combat. So if you have 2 2 stars and 1 1 star, the 1 star will rank up to 2 stars for that round. This however gets cool when you realize that if you have all 3 units 3 stars, one of them will go up to 4 stars. When it comes to legendary units, Riot always adds in one that breaks the game at the beginning. And this time it might be Zed. Zed is essentially a boss fight. When he drops to half health, he leaves the combat and starts regenerating health. When he gets back to full health, or when all the other allies die, phase 2 starts, and he rejoins the fight with true damage. I can't wait to see this one in action. And the last special thing I want to mention here is the new mechanic, chosen units. Among your normal units in the shop, sometimes you can also find a chosen unit. This unit will automatically be a 2 star, it will have increased health and damage, and it will have one of its traits improved, which means that it will count as 2 for that trait. This trait is chosen randomly however, it can be either of them. However, once you buy a chosen unit, you can't buy another one until you have sold the one you have. This means that you can either commit to one early on and buy a chosen unit early, which means that you won't find another one, or you can keep this open and look for that one perfect chosen unit that will really help you. Because remember, not only are the chosen units random, but the trait which they boost is also chosen randomly. The reason why this mechanic is so random is to make sure you can't force the same comp with the same chosen units. The chosen units are supposed to make you think and decide if you wanna try something new. I just can't wait for the videos of people finding their perfect legendary chosen units. And before we close this video, let me quickly mention Tellstones. A couple of days ago, not only did Riot release a new trailer, which showcased Cytherea learning how to play Tellstones from her father, which is a really cool fact to the fact that this exact scene was described in the book, where we learned that Cytherea learned how to play Tellstones from her father. But also, on the website, they showed us what the physical version of the game looks like, at least the casing. And because we also got the award celebrating the release on PBE, this means that the release of this game is right behind the corner. So keep your eyes on the merch store because it is coming very soon. And that's it for this episode of Rift News. As I said, the PBE patch got quite big together with all the incomplete files. I do believe that Riot wanted to keep the other skins off PBE for now, just like they first gave us only one half of the Spirit Blossom skins. But just like the Spirit Blossom skins got leaked by an insider at Riot accidentally leaked it themselves. I know that 2020 hasn't been the best of years, but geez, give me at least something great. I'd like to see at least one patch go through without any leaks.